in this group because three teams still have a chance to qualify. We know a virtual quarterfinal is up right after this when we will see the Kolkata Derby. But before that, Dempo Sports Club, the dark horses as we call them in this edition of the Super Cup, will look to write their own story a lot further, a lot deeper when they play this match against Chennaiyin FC. And all eyes will be on them to see whether they can score those 4 or 5 goals and win by that same margin. But at the same time, a decorated and celebrated side is what Chennaiyin FC has to offer. Given their history, given their ability, given their star-struck players, you can never write them off. And they could be a team that would want to end the dream run of Damper Sports Club. That being said, we're all set for a cracking encounter here at the GMC Bambolim, and it is going to be football at its finest as we begin this splendid weekend filled with Super Cup football. You can see the Dempo players making their way into the stadium. They've played some top level football that we've gotten to witness from this side. Nobody really expected them to put brakes on those big sides, especially like Mohan Bagan or East Bengal. You would expect them to be the favorites, but Dempo SC showed true grit, true determination, and that is what football is at the end of the day. There's no bigger team when you start a game. Ultimately, it's the final score line that speaks for itself, and that is what these young lads have done. Given how they play very systemically, they don't commit unnecessary errors. And here, of course, playing at home, they would be the side to watch out for. Let's look at the starting 11. Of course, Ashish Sibi will take on the gloves along with the right back Daniel, who's quite steady, and Ariston Costa, the captain, also there, along with Prithwesh and Sayesh. The midfield featuring Wairi, Guam, Vinay, and Dongal, and let's not forget the forwards up front, Ame, along with Shub. So the 4-4-2 classic combination for them is chosen by their coach, Mr. Samir Nayak. The substitutes, Myrick, Asman, Rahul, Daryl, Arnold, Beckham, Nestor, Zahir, Rane, and Kapil. Let's not forget Rane scored that late equalizer for them in their opening encounter. They will miss out on the services of Ali though. He was the one who scored their first goal in the Super Cup campaign. However, he is not featuring in the lineup for Dempo SC. So this is the lineup that Mr. Samir Nayak has chosen. This is the lineup that has all duties to go out there, guns blazing, and to score 5 goals and put Chennai along with ADK Mohan Bagan and East Bengal to test. And this is also a stadium that we've seen them feature on so many times, given the fact that they play local football in Goa. But moving on to their opponents, Chennaiyin FC, who's gotten massive names on their side, led by Mr. Clifford Miranda, a team that often creates their attacking width by maintaining possession. Here are the coaches as well as the players walking into the stadium. And speaking of Chennaiyin FC, they did not have things go ideally their way, especially to start the Super Cup. And given the fact that they haven't scored, that is a big problem that they will look to address here today because they have the key striker, the India international Irfan Yadvad, but they need to start scoring goals, and that is the rhythm they will look to get. They are out of the competition, but they know that there is a bigger goal to focus on. That is the ISL, the league, if the same name is maintained, which will start very soon. They have the bigger picture in mind, and it's important for them to find rhythm, the goal scoring rhythm that a team can achieve in order to succeed. There's Irfan Yadvad, there are his teammates, lot of experience, a lot of young blood, and a lot of pace on this Chennai FC side. Let's look at the starting lineup: 4-3, 4-2-3-1 for them. And Samik, the captain, will take on the gloves along with the defense. That's Klosner, Dinpuya, Pritham, and Raj. The defensive midfield positions will be taken off by Namte and Kingsley. Mandar, Mahesh, and Vivek also there, along with Irfan Yadwad up front. So this is a very creative side, and given how they are deciding to play with a lot of possession, they love to create with, and that's what Raj and Klasner will be doing. Let's not forget their substitutes. They have Jitendra Singh, Mohammad Nawaz, Vignesh, Mohan Raj, Lal Din Lina, Rajak Ali, Soleimalai R, Raman Karthik, and Gurkirat Singh. So we can expect a lot of pressing from this side, and all eyes will be on Irfan. It will be interesting to see how Irfan, being the typical forward he is, how he penetrates through that central defense of Dempo, which features Ariston and Prithwesh right there in the middle. So the combinations are going to be interesting on how the oppositions take it on against each other. But I think 90 minutes of football will truly tell us the tale on how the match is going to unfold. Because from Chennai's perspective, they have nothing to lose. They can try something different. They can experiment. Dempo, it's a similar situation, but I'm sure they will not give up. They know the status. They know that they can still qualify and they will do whatever it is in their power, and that is to possibly win by a 5 goal margin today. We have the officials along with the players coming in, and very soon we will get this match on and underway. There we are, both the teams are on the field, and we know Dempo so far. They have had a resilient performance. They came from a trailing situation to secure a draw in their first one. They held the Giants, Mohan Bagan, to a 0-0 draw, while Chennaiyin FC have had two matches to forget. One being the 2-0 loss to Mohan Bagan, where they missed early chances and there were a lot of defensive errors. While East Bengal, it was a worse result of losing 0 goals to 4. And the funny part is that Chennai FC show very good promise early on in the game, but a sudden collapse leads to goals that they concede. So the defensive mistakes is something that they will look to address in this match. And given the fighting spirit Tempo has, you can expect them to put the back four of Chennai FC to a lot of tests. Both the captains currently in the middle, along with the officials. Ariston Costa for Dempo and the goalkeeper Samik Mitra for Chennai FC will just exchange the flag. Referee for this match is Mr. Prateek Mondal. Assistant referees Ujjwal Haldar and Saurabh Sarkar. And the fourth official, Ashwin, will be ensuring that the game stays disciplined, and both the teams currently on their huddles before breaking off and taking their positions on the pitch. Reiterating back on what's at stake here, if If East Bengal or Mohun Bagan win the derby, which is soon after this, the winner of that game will qualify. And if they play a scored draw, East Bengal will be qualifying. But if Mohun Bagan and East Bengal play a 0-0 draw and Dempo beat Chennai by a margin of 5 goals or more, then Dempo will be qualifying. And if Mohun Bagan and East Bengal play a 0-0 draw and Dempo beat Chennai by a margin of less than 4 goals, then East Bengal qualify. If Mohun Bagan and East Bengal play a 0-0 draw and Dempo beat Chennai by 4 goals to nil, then it will be a draw of lots between Dempo and East Bengal after the derby. And if Mohun Bagan and East Bengal play a 0-0 draw and Dempo beat Chennaiyin by a margin of 4 goals, but Chennaiyin have scored in the match, then Dempo will qualify. That's the action, that's the blockbuster, and you can expect a lot of tricks and treats and perhaps a stare that Dempo can inflict on the East Bengal and Mohun Bagan fans, given the fact that it's a Halloween Friday. The official is all set to get this match on and underway. Pratik Mandal blows the whistle, and here we are. Last match for both these teams at the Super Cup. Dempo SC versus Chennaiyin FC. Chennaiyin wearing their white jersey, and they will be moving from the right to the left of your screens, while Dempo Sports Club, all blue for them, and they will be moving from the left to the right of the screen. Passing it around the defense, bit of a press from Chennaiyin FC. They like to start strong. The Chennaiyin FC side, we've seen them do that in their first 2 games, although it resulted in losses for them. They start very strong, they show a lot of promise, but one small mistake leads to a collapse, and that is what they will avoid. And here, an error on that pass. Klasner was looking to find his teammate Pritham. Raj was a bit too much in front to receive the ball on that right back position. Prithwesh looking to find his forward all the way up, and Vinay this time made the run but wasn't in the right position to receive it. Well, looking at the previous games for Dempo, they are quite strong on their defense and their discipline. They are good under pressure. They are very good when it comes to set pieces, and the home advantage being there. Playing here in Goa in such conditions with the rain, they know the Bambolim pitch well. While the negatives have more or less been that they've limited attacking creativity and they've had too much of resilience on counters and set pieces. That is how Dempo will look to unfurl. But we heard their coach after the game against Mohun Bagan mention that there is still a lot in store from what Dempo has to bring to Indian football. Dark horses of the Super Cup playing their last game here. Good pressure from the forward lines of Dempo, forcing the Chennai defense to clear it. Speaking of the back four from Chennaiyin FC, Klasner, Dinpuya, Pritham Kotal, the experienced centre back, and Raj taking care of that right back flank. Once again, long ball attempted. Samik will clear the lines. Thrown taken quick. Chennaiyin FC looking to go on the attack. Mandar on the ball. Side of Chennai, we can expect them to try engaging that possession-based game like they're doing now, holding on to the ball for as long as possible before launching their attack officially. Demboya, Namte and Kingsley will have an important role as well to facilitate the ball between the defense and the attack. That's a good ball. Kingsley with a few options, looking to cross it. Still with Chennaiyin. And did it take a touch? Seems like it did. And the first corner of the match. Not there, winning it for Chennaiyin FC. Almost 5 minutes of football. And we have our first corner. Sibi, the goalkeeper for Dempo, guiding his players. Here's Mandar lining up. First corner. Decides to go for a short one. He receives it back. The ball's crossed inside and no header to put Sibi to test. It was a well orchestrated move from the training ground. Unfortunately, not able to find a white shirt. More importantly, it's a chance created in the attack, and you need to create a lot more of those through the game. Chennaiyin FC have not scored in this edition of the Super Cup, and I think that's the first goal for them to get to that, get familiar with scoring goals. Two players taking contact. There's Namte. He's back on his feet. There's Mr. Clifford Miranda. He's a very courageous coach, very smart when it comes to adapting to the teams he has, and he's not afraid to play an all-Indian squad. He emphasizes on growth. We've seen him develop a lot of teams, and this is home ground for him as well. Hailing from Goa, although he's the head coach of Chennaiyin FC. Cleared forward, but not finding one of those blue shirts. But speaking of Chennaiyin FC, I think it's a mental game as well for them. An early goal can give them confidence. He has a go from distance. The mindset and intent was good from Kingsley. Could have perhaps done a little bit better to test Sibi, because Sibi wasn't in the best of positions, and had that been closer, it would have definitely been a big challenge for Sibi. And that is what Chennaiyin FC are trying to do, that early goal to break that anxiety cycle that they've had of not scoring. Here they are continuously playing, beautifully played through the right, the cross additionally, but the defense plays it to safety at the right time. And it is the captain, Ariston Costa, being there at the right place. Great ball played through to the right, and this is what the Chennaiyin FC attack can bring. You have the likes of Kingsley who will play such balls, to Vivek who runs in from the right, Mahesan gets involved, and Irfan can be waiting to just send it into the back of the net. Corner kick now as Mandar lines it up. Bit of shoving currently going on in the box. Official is letting the players know, ensuring that they stay disciplined. We see a training ground move from Chennai. This time they decide to go direct. Once again, it finds Prithwesh, who takes care of it. It's very on screen. But speaking of the central defense of Dempo, it's so promising. Ariston and Prithwesh, They work well together, and that is what you want the two central defenders to have that combination which commands the defense. Here's Dempo on the attack. Perhaps their first chance. Once again, defenders getting involved for Chennai and Pritham, along with Dimpuya and Krasner involved. Still Dempo and foul there, leading to a free kick. First one of the day. Ahmed did a good job on holding on to the ball, which allowed him to draw the foul. Here's Mr. Samir Nayak. Gotta love his mentality as well. He knows his team's had two great performances, but he's one of those coaches who's not going to settle for this. If not the Super Cup, I'm sure he's going to push harder with all tournaments to come. And we're into the 10th minute free kick for Dempo. And he creates some magic. Oh well, it hits the wall and it's played out for a throw in. And Dempo often rely on set pieces. Game, if it becomes a tight game, Dempo set pieces could be key. That out for a corner. Claims for the corner is given. And the first corner for Dempo. And the set pieces keep coming in for them. We've crossed 10 minutes. And if Dempo fans and the players are calculating the fact that they would possibly have to score 4 or 5 goals to qualify or even stand a chance to qualify, it is important for them to get an early goal, perhaps 2 or 3 in the first half itself. They haven't scored like that so far. You can never say never. Here comes the corner. It's the woodwork. And the Chennaiyin FC quickly cleared it up. Ariston, Udvesh, once again looking to play it up front. Dongle was available. He switched his position a bit. You often see him on that right flank in the midfield position. He's now playing along with Ame up front. Constant changes between the forward lines. Mahesan advances it, but it's a bit too hard for Irfan to think about it. Speaking of the key midfield trio of Chennaiyin FC, Mahesan, Namte and Kingsley. Of course, we see how they are quick with distributing the ball, either to Vivek on the right or Mandar on the left. Irfan, of course, moving up front. Ball won back by Chennaiyin FC. Here comes Mandar. Plays it down to Mahesan, who is tackled. Sayesh there with the courageous tackle to win back the ball. The game's been promising so far. Chennaiyin FC have also shown some intent and promise in terms of getting a breakthrough. Dempo, on the other hand, would want to switch on that attacking pedestal a bit more, but Chennai's holding on to possession. And clearly, through these 13 minutes, it's Chennaiyin FC who've held on to the ball a lot more. That won't do the trick to win the game. Quick give and go intended, no foul. Oh, there is a foul. And a free kick for Chennaiyin FC. There's a replay. Took a hard one there. It was a common ball. But Vivek was brought down. Dempo will rely on their sturdy defense that's been quite solid. They're a team that emphasizes on defense. They more or less prefer to focus mainly on defense and then rely on those set pieces or a counter that they can get out of it. Nevertheless, here's Chennaiyin FC Mahesan and Mandar standing before the ball. They will look to find Irfan. If not Irfan, Klasner, Pritam Kotal, quite a few names on the box, in the box who they can try and find. Here comes the free kick for Chennaiyin FC. It is Mandar, but he finds the defender of Dempo yet again. Here's Dempo trying to engage that quick counter attack, which is not possible from that situation. Chennaiyin FC continue that attacking promise. Great ball through the left. He decided to switch it over to the other side. Now it's Vivek who minuses it. Ball sent into the box. Irfan surrounded by too many blue shirts. Another goal, long range. Sibi watches it sail over. Took a deflection, which is why it's out for a corner. Gosno there taking the shot for Chennaiyin FC. Gosno Pereira lined it up pretty well before it took deflection. Another corner for Chennaiyin FC, this time on the other side, which is why Mahesan is lining it up. Mahesan to launch it inside. A powerful one, takes that touch. Would have ideally been a pass closer to the goal to find one of his teammates. Didn't quite connect with it. Vivek. And looking at the rationale of this game, Dempo need goals, and to score goals they're going to need their attacking index go up a lot more. We know it. If they score 5 and the game after this, the Kolkata Derby, ends in a goalless draw, Dempo will make it through. Seems like an uphill task, but I'm sure players are not going to give up till the very end. Here's Saish, and Vinay is brought down by Mahesan. Dempo still haven't fluidly opened up their attack. There are those quick give and goes, they're trying those moves. But Chennaiyin FC desperate on possession, desperate to win it back. I would say the same for Dempo, who would be desperate to score goals from this point. They still have a chance to make it. It's launched in towards the box. Header was clear, but it's way away from the target. More importantly, they've started to set sights on the other side and take shots towards the goal. First goal could be key in this game for either of the teams, because if Dempo concede, we might see them opening up a lot more and not playing safe on defense. Here comes Dempo though on the attack. Handball claims and the official gives it. Sort of takes note of it, and once again a free kick for Dempo. Yet again, it's that quick combination involving Ame, opening up his players. Samik, who's proven to be an avid shot stopper over the years, currently captaining his side. Can he prevent the first goal coming in? No, the shot directly hits the wall and a player seems to be down. He took the direct hit off of that free kick. Kudos to the player for quickly going in and checking up on him. "20 minutes of football." Of course, Chennaiyin had majority of the attacks so far, but Dempo have gotten the last few of them. I think Chennaiyin FC through this game, although they are not playing for anything much, they would want to get over their negatives. You can see a lot of players from the Dempo Academy watching this game at the GMC Bambolim. Inspiring moments for them to see their senior side put up such big performances against giants like East Bengal and Mohan Bagan. But speaking of Chennaiyin FC, they would look to improve on their defensive compactness along with that finishing ability in the final third. There's the ball sent into the final third for Dempo. Safe in the hands of Samik. Chennaiyin FC once again on the offensive trot. This is what they do. This is where one of their strengths is. That is to dominate possession and use that to their fullest. They press to win back the ball and then they hold on to it, but that final third lacking is quite evident in spite of having a versatile India international like Irfan. Good job there to win the ball back. Still holding on to possession as we cross the 22-minute mark. Krasnov getting involved with Namte, although they lose possession. And here comes Dempo. It's well played through the right. A real good chance. Vinay has made the run. And he's got to decide what's he going to go for. Tries to minus it and hold on to possession rather than forcing a cross and a shot. Saish moving up front on the attack for Dempo. Chennaiyin FC closing the gaps, not letting it go easy, as they rightly should, although this is a good run. It's still Ame before he is tackled, but a foul identified by the official. And once again, a free kick, and this time it's from a very captivating position, perhaps the most out of all the free kicks that Dempo have gotten so far. Ame did a good job, and there was a slight jersey pull along with that push, which led to that foul being committed. The side that is reliant on set pieces get another. And the likes of Daniel and Shubham standing before the ball discussing what's their best way forward from this position. If they decide to do something cheeky with ball passes, or will we see a direct shot at the goal? He goes for goal, and there we go! Dempo SC have taken the lead. A brilliant shot. A team that thrives on set pieces has put one past the experienced campaigner Samik Mitra. And 25 minutes into the game, it is the dark horses of this year's Super Cup, Dempo SC, who take the lead, courtesy of that screamer from Shubham. Shubham Rawat, take a bow. A well taken shot. Perhaps went past Samik right before his eyes. It had the perfect elevation, perfect speed, and that small bit of curve to add spice and add on to their first goal. 25 minutes into this, it's Dempo 1, Chennaiyin FC 0. And can that goal open the floodgates for Dempo SC in this matchup? Let me remind you, they are still in this. They've not scored 5 in a game so far. But let's not forget, Chennaiyin FC have conceded 4. You can never say never in football. If Dempo win by a great margin, and the game soon after this, the Kolkata derby, ends up in a goalless draw, Dempo can still qualify. The dream is still on for Dempo, and the pressure is still on Chennaiyin FC to score a goal. They are down for Dempo. Ball's played out as the official calls on the physio. He will be a happy man, but it's too early in a game of football to be happy with the 1-0 lead. Of course, we will take a look at that free kick goal. This is what led to that free kick. It was a great run from Amey, and then the shot from Shubham put his team up against Chennai. Speaking of what this game means for Chennai now, the goal, it does tend to change the entire mood of the game. For Chennaiyin FC, it's another gut check, and you can see that fire coming into the Dempo attack as well after they've scored the first. Chennai, on the other hand, they've struggled for rhythm in this entire Super Cup, and conceding first means they're right back under the microscope. And Clifford Miranda's side now need to show character, because pride is also at stake. They're yet to score a goal in the tournament, and this is their chance to respond, to prove that they can play with purpose rather than just contain. But it's not going to be easy, given how Dempo have fared, given the fact that they have played here in this stadium quite often. They're going to continue not just knocking doors, but knocking them down. This time a long free kick straight to Samik, who advances it. Oh, almost finding. Oh, that could be a goal. Goodness gracious. What just happened? Dempo SC may have been a bit too caught up on the fact that they had the lead. Surprise across the stadium. Sibi was off his lines. and he's paid the price. Chennaiyin FC have leveled things up, and they've also scored their first goal here at the Super Cup. You have to feel for Dempo. It's not the ideal way to concede a goal, but you pay the price for not holding on to the resilience that you're supposed to have. Here's Chennai thriving on that goal they scored. No foul there. Player down, Irfan is not back on his feet. We will go back to that goal which we just saw, the equalizer for Chennaiyin FC. Well, the players didn't do it, and the captain and goalkeeper said, fine, I'll do it myself. This is the foul which brought Irfan down, but prior to this, the highlight for us to watch, I'm sure we'll get the replay soon, was the goal from Samik. Take a look at this. It was a goal kick rather, and he was looking to find Irfan, and Sibi off his lines was caught by surprise, and credits to Irfan for not getting that last touch. And Samik is the goal scorer for Chennaiyin FC here in the Super Cup. A boastful moment for him perhaps to say that he has more goals than the India international currently. Well, jokes aside, Chennaiyin FC will get some life after going on the score sheet. And looking at Dempo now, things have gotten a lot harder. More importantly, they responded soon after conceding. We can say that it was not an ideal or well orchestrated goal, but it is what it is. Chennaiyin FC have equalized. And Dempo now might be a bit low on guard as foul is committed on Irfan once again. The Dempo goal will be a big setback. The 4-goal margin which they needed for qualification becomes even steeper because conceding this goal means that they have to win by 5 clear goals if they want to keep that dream alive. The fact that we saw a goal from the goalkeeper and also the fact that it came in quick succession to respond to the opening goal talks about how exciting the Super Cup has been. We've seen goals all around and seen how teams don't back down. A lot of surprise games, a lot of surprise results. You do expect that kind of play when two teams go up against each other. The bigger goal is to win the Super Cup and qualify for the AFC Champions League 2. Little over 10 minutes to play on the first half. A goal apiece for both the teams. Chennaiyin FC now looking to take the lead perhaps. Possession's back on with the go inside. And they go on the attacking pedestal, putting Chennaiyin defenders to work. Dimpuya plays it out safe and play continues. Ariston. Daniel now back to Ariston, who plays it forward. Sibi to Prithvesh, who's on the ball now. Long ball attempted, cleared by Preetham Kotal. Still with Dempo. Prithvesh back to Sibi. Speaking of that goal from Chennaiyin FC, sure the goalkeeping coach will have a big word with Sibi. The goalkeeper to concede a goal like that, it would count as a cheap goal. Positioning is very important, and I'm sure Sibi will learn from that. Defense need to be a lot sharper. Irfan made that run all of a sudden, almost got to it. It could have been dangerous for Dempo. Good hustle there by Sayesh. Not allowed that run to come through the left flank. Well advanced as Mandar was getting comfortable. Krasner to throw this one in. Looking to find Irfan. Take back to Mitra, the keeper. Looks like it's taken a bad hit there. There seems to be okay as the official also urges him to get back on his feet. Quick apology there as well from Mahesan. Ariston, the captain, involved in that challenge. Throw in for Chennai. And they will just, in the light of sportsman spirit, give possession back to Dempo. I think given how both the teams are at a deadlock here once again, it's important to get into that halftime with a lead. More importantly for Dempo, although qualification's gotten a lot steeper for them, they have to win by a 5-goal margin. And to reduce the burden in the second half, the best way to do that is to score now in the first half itself. Now they are on the attack looking to create something, but it was a bit sloppy there from Veeri as he loses possession. By Colasso. He's often playing on the left here. He's switched over to the right. Samir Nayak will be disappointed with the way that goal was conceded by his team. As Irfan and Co has a word with the official, and the first booking of the match. Irfan goes in to the book. Pratik Mondal, the referee, not too happy with what he saw. Dempo again relying on long balls, finding his teammate right outside the box, but Preetham Kotal is there immediately to not give Shubham a good glance at the goal. You know what he can do from there. Vinay quickly starts off. There's something cheeky attempted from Sayesh. It's cleared in search of Irfan. And a foul there. Immediate booking from the referee. Blew the whistle, charged towards the player to issue the card, and it's getting a lot more heated. Players going at it. Pritam Kotal wasn't happy at all with the way the player charged at Irfan, who is still down after taking impact. I think that is what Pritam Kotal is saying. Pritam Kotal, being a defender, has stopped a lot of players, committed that intentional foul many a times, but there is always a way in which such fouls are committed. Here's the replay. Irfan was looking to receive it, and from the back, a lot of contact was made. He used his hands as well. I think he reached out with his arm, which is why the official quickly reached out for the card and booked the player. Prateek Mondal also books Pritam Kotal for the aggression shown. A lot of cards, a lot of bookings as well here in the first half, as we get to see it all. We've gotten to see goals, we've gotten to see assists, we've seen yellow card bookings, we've seen goalkeepers scoring. Well, that's the drama of the Super Cup, one can say. Play continues as we head towards the 45th, and once again a foul. Players all high on emotion. Chennaiyin FC want to finish on a good note. Dempo might slowly, or on the backdrops, be getting that frustration in their minds of losing out on the lead they had. Prithvish was booked just a few moments back. That's the confirmation. There, I think that's where the bit of a protest came in. This Dempo's ball, but Vairi went on to hold the player. Irfan got the yellow card earlier before he was brought down by the defender. So we will have a lot more than just a minute or two added post the 45th minute. And the foul identified, once again committed on Irfan. Dempo players not giving any space for the India international. Free kick for Chennaiyin FC, and it's from a tricky position, one where we see the ball being curved into the box. Mandar along with Mahesan. One of them will be searching for one of those white shirts in the box. It's going to be Mahesan. And it got close, but not close enough to put it past Sibi. Pritam Kotal was perhaps in the best position to get to that. Instead of a goal, it's a corner kick. When we look at the replay of that, we can get a clear view of how close Pritam Kotal was to just having to tap it in. Good job by the Dempo defense. They hold strong, they hold fort, and they do so here as well. Corner from Mandar, header is blocked. Protest for handball, referee waves his arms. Long ranger for Chennaiyin, won't hit the target. was a wayward attempt from Dimpuya. Prior to that, corner kick from Mandar did find one of the wide shots. The header seemed to be well elevated, but a good block by the defenders. Samir Nayak, what's going on in his mind? Will be interesting to see if he changes the entire course of play for his team in the second half. Because, like I mentioned earlier, Dempo like to focus on defense and then wait for either a counter attack or a set piece. That's why they like to strike. And a slight shove by Shubham. They are down once again for Chennaiyin FC. Course of receiving that ball, slight shove was committed. Chennai now advancing all their players as Samek Mitra looks to send this one long and inside. I think he's looking to get an assist as well after the goal. Did find Irfan, but Irfan couldn't contain that one. And 3 minutes have been added post the 45. It resumes as Chennai will push hard in this last couple of minutes to try and take the lead. That would be a first for them here in the Super Cup. Great run. The cross also came through. But Wairi was there at the right place. Quickly clear that. But speaking of that run from Vivek on the right, he's going to have a go. Does he have it in him to do the same thing back to back? Well done by the defense of Dempo, but this is the run from Vivek earlier. A good ball inside, but not many wide shots in the position. Here the sirens and the cheers for Dempo. The crowd there getting the back of their players. It's good to see the crowds coming in for the Super Cup. We saw yesterday when Kerala Blasters were in action, Manjapada being present. Here the Dempo Academy players. And we can expect a crowd for the Kolkata Derby soon after at the Fatorda. Last minute, more or less, to be played here in the first half. We have time perhaps for one last move on the forward lines. But Dempo can't get it perhaps. Possession's back on with Chennai. Daniel advances it. Who's now to throw that one in? Irfan once again not too happy with that shove from the opposition. And there we go. Prateek Mondal blows the whistle. And it's halftime on this Halloween Friday. We've had a little bit of everything. Drama, goals and a twist or two in the tail. Dempo started strong, but Chennai hit right back, and that 1-1 scoreline is keeping things spooky for the home side. They will need a big second half, not just to win, but to win big if they want to keep haunting the table toppers before the derby kicks off at 7:30. It was Shubham who found the back of the net at first, courtesy of that brilliant free kick 25 minutes into the game. And 4 minutes later, yes, you read it right, the goalkeeper, Samek Mitra, the captain of Chennaiyin FC, took matter into his own hands and put one past Sibi from the other end across the field to attain this scoreline. 45 minutes into this one, it's Dempo SC 1, Chennaiyin FC 1. Stay tuned as we have the second half coming your way.
Kerala Blasters, they will be looking for some momentum going into this game because that will help them settle down their nerves. They are a very well collected sides. There have been new signings coming in for them, and Rajasthan United as well. They'll be trying to put up a show as well, nonetheless. And Aditya Purkayastha, he says, let's play. And now Blasters. That's a lovely ball onto the left. Can be a chance. Goes down. The referee says get back up and let's keep the ball rolling. It's going to be Luna to come in with the corner. Here it comes, an opportunity, which would have been a spectacle to savor. But again, Rajasthan United, they are not going down so easy. And that will be a foul. Looks like there was an elbow swinging. And Danish Ahmed Bhatt, he's been given a yellow card. And this is what happens when on the pen and paper you have the... And after the customary shuffle of sides, the team attacking from the right to the left. In their signature blues, it's Kerala Blasters side. But Rajasthan, over the last couple of minutes. Yeah, this can be a chance. Rajasthan smashes one. Nora Fernandez with a crucial save. But what a move that was. It was Robinson Blandon from the left. Got in a bit of experience and youth too. And just on cue, Danish laying it off. That's a lovely ball brought down and should be a free kick, is it? Yes, it is. And will also be a card on that occasion. That was stopping a goal-bound move or not. Yeah, I think he didn't really get control of the ball on that occasion. Yes, there definitely was a tuck from the back. Yes, the red card stands and it's given to Gursimrat Singh Gill on Vibin Mohanan. We'll take a look at that move again. What an incredible setup from Naoba Mitei. Almost laid it off on a silver platter. Oh my word. Luna down the middle. Pushes it forward. Hudu brings him down and the free kick awarded. Rajasthan, the Desert Warriors in a rut. Chips it towards the far side. Noah with the header. Amoya goes for it as well. I think Kerala, they have looked pretty solid in the midfield. But that final blow, the coup de grace, takes a bit of time. Switches it towards the right. Blasters still knocking on the doors. Towards the far side, and it's Noah who rattles the deadlock, is it? Oh no, apologies. It's the big man, Koldo Obiera, who gets the Blasters the lead that they have been craving for, pining for a long, long time. And they are going to bring in Joseph Lalbenima. But that move towards... This is the time for them to go all in. That's a confirmation. Alan Thapa is out. And Akashdeep comes in. The edge of the box, Noah dueling it. Another ball sent forward. A bit of a backhander. Oh my word, it needed a save. Nora Fernandez coming up with a clutch save on that. Delivers it forward. And with this, we come to the end of final scoreline. Kerala Blasters 1, Rajasthan United 0. And the goal came from Koldo Obiera. I think Kerala Blasters, they will be looking for some momentum going into this game because that will help them settle down their nerves. They are a very well collected sides. There have been new signings coming in for them, and Rajasthan United as well. They'll be trying to put up a show as well, nonetheless. And Aditya Purkayastha, he says, let's play. And now Blasters. That's a lovely ball onto the left. Can be a chance. Goes down. The referee says get back up and let's keep the ball rolling. It's going to be Luna to come in with the corner. Here it comes, an opportunity, which would have been a spectacle to savor. But again, Rajasthan United, they are not going down so easy. And that will be a foul. Looks like there was an elbow swinging. And Danish Ahmed Bhatt, he's been given a yellow card. And this is what happens when on the pen and paper you have the... And after the customary shuffle of sides, The team attacking from the right to the left in their signature blues. It's Kerala Blasters side. But Rajasthan over the last couple of minutes. Yeah, this can be a chance. Rajasthan smashes one. Nora Fernandez with a crucial save. But what a move that was. It was Robinson Blandon from the left. Got in a bit of experience and youth too. And just on cue, Danish laying it off. That's a lovely ball brought down and should be a free kick, is it? Yes, it is. And will also be a card on that occasion. That was stopping a goal-bound move or not. Yeah, I think he didn't really get control of the ball on that occasion. Yes, there definitely was a tuck from the back. Yes, the red card stands and it's given to Gursimrat Singh Gill on Vipin Mohanan. We'll take a look at that move again. What an incredible setup from Naoba Mitei. Almost laid it off on a silver platter. Oh my word. Luna down the middle. Pushes it forward. Hudu brings him down and the free kick awarded. Rajasthan, the Desert Warriors in a rut. Chips it towards the far side. Noah with the header. Amoya goes for it as well. I think Kerala, they have looked pretty solid in the midfield. But that final blow, the coup de grace, takes a bit of time. Switches it towards the right. Blasters still knocking on the doors. Towards the far side, and it's Noah who rattles the deadlock, is it? Oh no, apologies. It's the big man, Koldo Obiera, who gets the Blasters the lead that they have been craving for, pining for a long, long time. And they are going to bring in Joseph Lalvenima. But that move towards... This is the time for them to go all in. That's a confirmation. Alan Thapa is out. And Akashdeep comes in. The edge of the box, Noah dueling it. Another ball sent forward. A bit of a backhander. Oh my word, it needed a save. Nora Fernandez coming up with a clutch save on that. Delivers it forward. And with this, we come to the end of final scoreline. Kerala Blasters 1, Rajasthan United 0. And the goal came from Koldo Obiera. I think Kerala Blasters, they will be looking for some momentum going into this game because that will help them settle down their nerves. They are a very well collected sides. There have been new signings coming in for them, and Rajasthan United as well. They'll be trying to put up a show as well, nonetheless. And Aditya Purkhaista, he says, let's play. And now Blasters. That's a lovely ball onto the left. Can be a chance. Goes down. The referee says get back up and let's keep the ball rolling. It's going to be Luna to come in with the corner. Here it comes, an opportunity. Which
Good evening and welcome back to the GMC Bambolim Stadium where it's all square at halftime between Dempo SC and Chennaiyin FC. One goal apiece. The first half full of energy and intent. Shubham Rawat gave Dempo the lead in the 25th, but Samuel hit back almost instantly to make things level. It was Samik who hit back to make things level. A great goal from the goalkeeper. That being said, it sets us up for an interesting second half, and Dempo need goals to keep their dream alive. Chennai looking to spoil the party, and the second half will give us clarity on what to expect from the Kolkata derby. Because if Dempo does not win by a margin of 5 goals, it will be simple. The next match of the Super Cup, soon after this at 7:30 live on Jio Hotstar, is going to be a virtual quarter-final. Anyhow, let's shift focus back on this game, which has been so interesting. Chennaiyin FC wearing white jersey. They will be moving from the left to the right of the screen. And Dempo will be moving from the right to the left of the screen. Coach Miranda, roots in Goa, currently the head coach for Chennai. Chance now for Chennaiyin FC through the left. Could have created something off of that, and again they're off to that quick start, creating a lot more chances, just like they did in the first half. And a lot of changes in possession as a foul is identified by the official. Chennai FC playing for pride, and for them, they are looking to earn back a lot of bragging rights and confidence, more importantly, given how they've conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games, having lost both, while Dempo have raised everybody's eyebrows with their stellar performance. No win so far, just a couple of draws, but a couple of big draws. For them, it is to captivate, as a free kick will unfurl for Chennai FC. Mahesan and Mandar. We always see the set pieces being shared between the two of them. And this is where the foul was committed. Can they guide Chennai FC to take the lead? Mandar having a go, and Sibi watches it sail over him. Left footer. Just thought he could surprise the keeper with that one. And speaking of a free kick goal from a very similar spot, we saw Shubham put it past Samik Mitra, the first goal of the game. Dempo sticking to that 4-4-2 combination that they started off with. Played back to the keeper and advanced for Chennai FC. Irfan puts pressure on the defense. That is something Chennai FC like to do, that is press on the ball in search of possession. They are possession oriented. A lot of substitutes. Rane will be a eye to watch out for, because we all know in that first game against East Bengal, when they were down 2-1, it was that equalizer from Rane which secured a point for them. Sequence of headers as the ball finally touches the ground. Namte looking to find his forward. think in terms of the first half, both the sides had their fair share of chances. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that last pass, quality pass, which opens it up for the player to see it through to the goal. The support for Dempo, as we mentioned in the first half, a lot of supporters for the local team, a lot of players from the academy. Now they are screaming in sequence, envisioning themselves on the pitch a few years from now. Club with history, club looking to make it big in the current football structure. Here they are on the attack. They would love to score off of an offensive sequence because they are commonly known to rely on counter attacks and the set pieces. The first goal also came through the set piece by that tall young lad, Shubham. Ame, of course, drew the foul to attain that free kick. Hamek launches it up front. Irfan is looking to advance it further. Play continues. It's still with Chennaiyin. Can play it into the box. Cleared by Prithvesh. Dongle playing it. Apologies, that was Namte playing it over to the right. Chennaiyin FC showing similar glimpses of that first half where they start the 45 by holding on to possession, but we can see a bit more of pressing from Dempo. Dempo like to focus on the defensive side of things, but here in this game, they know it's their last one, it's their last effort, the last chance for them to try and qualify through this next 45 minutes, and they're going to need goals for that. So I think that is why they're going to try and press a lot more than usual. But Chennai keep them desperate by maintaining possession. There's Preetham on the ball. Dimpuya. Klasno to Namte. Back to Klasno. Looking to engage Mandar as the ball goes out of bounds. A lot of options for Chennaiyin FC off the bench as well. You can see them starting their warm-ups. Speaking of their bench players, it's well played through the left flank. It's gotten inside with some space. Unfortunately, the defense will stop that intent. And speaking of the substitute lineup for Chennaiyin FC, they have the likes of Ritu, Vignesh, Liana, Rajak Ali, Solai, Raman, Karthik, Gurkirat Singh, who could come in and add some more flair to that forward lines. And heading over to Dempo, who also have a lot of promising names on the bench. From the likes of Asman, Rahul Rodriguez, Daryl, Arnold, Beckham. They are down. He seems to be in a bit of a tussle. And one big name, of course, Lakshman Rao Rane, who scored the equalizer in the first game for Dempo. Could he perhaps be the super sub again and this time give them the lead? Nestor Diaz, Couple, and of course the keepers. So Dempo also will be bringing in the substitutes very soon. No substitution at halftime, as we've seen a lot of teams opt for. So far, 10 minutes past the start of the second half. Chennai continue to hold possession. They're still yet to transition from that possession game to scoring a goal. The one goal they've scored this season came in the first half of this one when Samik launched the ball of that goal kick of his in search of his forward Irfan. Sibi was off his lines and had to pay the price of the bounce. I think that's Samik's first goal on Chennai colours, perhaps first in his professional career. You don't see keeper scoring. I think a few instances we see the keeper score is the last ditch effort when there's a corner kick. Here once again Chennai looking to play the long ball into the box and it's guided out for a throw in. Playing on that left flank as they switch it over to the right. There's Raj who gets Vivek involved. Vivek's delivered a few good balls so far. Can he put through one more? And they are confident. They are quite confident in just playing this possession game. And it always builds up the desperation on the opposition who's missing out on holding the ball. One may say, is it just too late or too much of an ask to expect Dempo to win by a 5-goal margin from here? I don't think qualification is on the charts currently for them. But looking back at the Super Cup campaign, a lot of positives for them to take. Once again, looking to find player up front. Would have to be a lot more accurate. And also get past Ariston and Prithvesh, who've been a very solid duo. Tempo, meanwhile, in the second half, compared to Chennai, they've not been able to maintain possession on the attack. They continue to lose the ball almost immediately after getting it back. That clearly shows that they are playing with a different intent, looking to quickly start something on the offensive note. Chennai continue possession-based game. This time it's played over to the left. Mandar makes a run for it. Got to get past Sayesh, which he does. Sayesh getting through the tackle. And he manages to keep that one in before his teammate hands it back to Chennai. 15 minutes into the second. No goal for either of the teams. Possession largely in favor of Chennaiyin FC. Curved towards the far right side. Vivek, and that's the substitution we were waiting for. Gurkirat forward comes in for Mahesan, who's had a great game.
Substitution for Chennai Football Club. Jersey number 21, Mahesh Singh Kamra is replaced by jersey number 77, Gurkirat Singh.
Gurkirat Singh, all eyes will be on him. Fresh legs. What's the impact he can make? Here he is on the ball. Gurkirat Singh quickly tackled. Kingsley. Looking to play it forward to Irfan. Irfan Yadwad, India international. Played the same position for India during Kappa Cup. Clean foul, and they started quick. The flag goes up though, and the cheeky attempt from Chennaiyin FC won't be of any use. Perhaps had he timed that right, would have been ideal. Clean offside though. Less than half an hour of football for both these teams in their campaign of the Super Cup. I think it's too much of an ask of Dempo to score 5 goals from here and then rely on the result of the next game. Chennai, on the other hand, would like to walk away with a few points from the Super Cup campaign. As it stands, it's going to be one between the two teams here. But they would like to just add a dark spot on Dempo's campaign if they can steal away the win. Well played over to that right side, but the defense does a good job. Stellar job. In fact, the cross was good. And there was no foul called there, surprisingly, as a lot of contact took place. Samik has taken one of the blows. Vairi there, apologizing. We'll get a better look on that replay. This is Dempo's first chance created, perhaps. No foul there on that challenge. Vairi's cross was contained by Samik. Seeing a much better performance from Chennaiyin FC though. If you compare it with their first two games, they seem like a team that would just show promise for a very small period of time, and after that just allow the opposition to take control. But at least here in the first 20 minutes of the second half and for a good majority of the first half, Chennaiyin FC have had the ball, but that final third is where they've struggled to create quality chances. Quick nudge there on Gurkirat. You have to note this intent from the Dempo defenders, especially on the Chennaiyin FC forwards. They've not given them that breathing space. Here you can see they go hard on Gurkirat. They've been going hard on Irfan. Given the nature of football, physicality plays a big role. Dempo is giving Chennaiyin FC the taste of it in every manner. But if you do it like that, you will definitely get caught and you will give away a free kick. Once again, these are all mysterious positions from where a free kick can lead to goals. It can come in different angles, and all it needs is to find a white shirt in the box. Namte and Mandar currently standing before the ball to take this free kick. Finds his teammate on the far side, but Preetham Kotal wasn't in the best of positions nor having that ideal angle to put Sibi to test. In a few instances, especially off of free kicks where Preetham Kotal is on the receiving end of it. Given his experience, sure he has it in him to find the back of the net. Played for top clubs as well prior to this. Tempo now on the attack. The number of chances to advance have been scarce, but the number of chances you get does not matter. It's what you do off of it. Here they are opening it up far wide on the right, cross, finding his teammate, a real chance for Shubham to score the double, but the defense triggered his move and quickly won it back. And here comes Chennaiyin FC looking to switch it up. Gurkirat Singh with those fresh legs, putting those legs to use, but just couldn't get the better of the Dempo defenders in that occasion. I think Gurkirat coming in has allowed Irfan to not throw himself on every attacking move that they try to engage themselves on. Preetham Kotal, now Dimpuya, Namte, back to Kotal. Dimpuya lining it up, playing it all the way up front. Vivek won't be on the receiving end of that one. Ariston in search of Shubham. Ariston once again trying the long ball. No substitution so far from Dempo. We're close to the 70-minute mark. Chennaiyin FC brought in Gurkirat to flare up their attack, and we expect the same from Dempo. Although here's the substitute, Gurkirat. A few nudges before he lost the ball. Valid ones. And here comes Dempo, who look to make that transition from defense to offense. A minor foul there from Gurkirat. And Dempo will make their first set of changes. Three of them, as Nestor, Kapil and Rane, the goal scorer from their opening night, who scored the equalizer against East Bengal, will come in. Nestor will be replacing Amey up front. Rane will be replacing Dongel on that midfield position towards the right. And the last substitute will be Kapil checking in. Meanwhile, Chennaiyin FC also make their second change.
Substitution for Dempo Sports Club. Jersey number 8, Amey is replaced by jersey number 27, Nestor Rice. Second substitution.
Let's see how much of tempo can be changed in this matchup with the substitutes checking in for Dempo as well as for Chennai. There's Gurkirat looking to cross that, and it's stopped by Daniel. Vignesh is the player who's come in for Chennai FC. He's replacing Mandar. So they're bringing in a defender, which makes things interesting. Throw in now for Chennai FC. Raj throwing it all the way into the box. Long range volley is what he had in mind, could not connect with it. Here's a substitute, Vignesh. Pritam Kotal. Looking to work on with Gurkirat. Gurkirat's doing a good job so far, in my opinion, especially after he's come off the bench. He's perfectly comprehending with what Mahesan was doing. He's getting involved in terms of receiving the ball as a striker as well as playing it forward to your partner up front. Vivek now with some space involving Raj on the right flank. And the cross is stopped by Daniel and it's out for a corner. Chennai FC have clearly created more chances here in the second. They've also maintained possession. And can this be one of those moments where they take control? Klasner to take the corner kick. Klasner guiding it in. It's punched by Sibi and cleared forward. Minutes to be played apart from the time to be added on. I think Dempo will have closed sights on qualifying, which means game in a few hours. In an hour and a half to be precise, Kolkata Derby is going to be a virtual quarterfinal. Before that, let's see how things finish in the group. Header from Irfan is clear. You can never keep your strikers away from the action. It's important for the defense to always take note. We've seen games, we've seen Messi Boli score at the very end of the game. Even yesterday, the Blasters saw that one goal at the very brink of it. Irfan Yadwad has not had his ideal share of chances, but you don't want to give a lethal striker that confidence by giving them shots time and again. Once again, through ball attempted, but too hard for Irfan. And if this remains a draw here, Dempo will be finishing third and Chennaiyin FC will be finishing fourth in the table. But a chance for Chennaiyin FC to avoid that stat. And for that, they'll have to take away all 3 points from this matchup as a foul is committed. The follow through, getting a piece of the Chennaiyin midfielder. Coming back to what the Super Cup has at stakes, qualification to the ACL2, and there's the foul which was just committed. Speaking of the qualification to the ACL2, we all know FC Goa's representing our nation at the Asian level. Very recently, we had one of the best teams currently in Asia to come down to Goa and feature against FC Goa just before the Super Cup started. It was a great game, 2-1 victory for Al Nassr. Good fight from FC Goa. A local lad, Bryson Fernandez, scoring. But this is where the opening goal came through. A foul on Amel leading to the stunner from Shubham to put his team up 1-0. And here the captain with a Thanos statement of doing it himself. Samik Mitra scoring from the other end, putting it past Sibi. Was definitely a highlight to watch out for. Sibi off his lines, paying the costly price. I wonder what the conversation was between him and his goalkeeping coach and the rest of the coaching staff in the dressing room at halftime. I'm sure it would be positive because no room for shouting and scolding perhaps in the professional level, especially halfway into a game. Play resumes after the injury. Chance for Chennaiyin FC to derive some magic. Sent in from Kluzner, cleared by Dempo. Still with Chennai, played wide to Kluzner. Once again searching for a white shirt, finds a blue one instead. That's kept in on that left flank. With the cross is taken care of by Sibi. And off the kick, he's taken a fall. Protests from players in different manners. From the Dempo SC players was to stop the game because the keeper was down. I think the Chennai players were suggesting that momentum led to Sibi stepping out of the box perhaps while taking that kick. You know, he wasn't in the ideal position when he was going for it. And that is why I think he may have stretched a muscle or two of his a bit too much. Of course, they have a couple of goalkeeping options on the bench. As we saw on screen, Myrek along with Zahir Khan, who could possibly replace Ashish Sibi at goal for Dempo SC. I think a lot to work on for Chennaiyin FC. heading into the league soon after this. Of course, they would put the results aside, but they still have learnings to take away because they've evidently struggled with those defensive collapses. They've struggled with finishing at the final third, be it receiving a stellar pass or finishing the ball. Given their history of having quality football in that final third, they would want to revive it. Now, a chance for them to take on the lead. Vivek involved on that right flank, not able to get past the defender. Preetham plays it to safety as Dempo look to start it quick. Speaking of the history that Chennaiyin FC have had with regards to forwards during the time when they won the Indian Super League, massive names from Bruno Pellirsari to Elano Bloomer. Let's not forget, over the years, over those years precisely, they've had Steven Mendoza, who's currently one of the top strikers globally. JJ, star Indian striker. I mean, a winger to be precise. But tussle, the muscles, of course, will start to get sore in a wet and lush pitch like this. Running for 80 minutes gets to the best of us.
Substitution for Chennai Football Club. Jersey
While
number
we talk of
15.
While we talk of Chennaiyin FC's success in the past, I think Dempo, a side with rich history established in the 1960s, they've won the I-League multiple number of times. And they were actually the first Indian club to make it to the AFC Cup semi-finals in 2008. The same AFC Champions League 2 that we have now used to be called the AFC Cup, and Dempo was the first Indian side to feature on the semi-finals. Of course, they're looking to regain those glory days, and we can clearly see signs of Dempo heading towards that direction. The revival of the club has definitely shown signs here in the Super Cup with the way they've fared against top Indian sides. Seven more minutes of football. Of course, we'll have a few minutes added on. Chennaiyin FC still pushing as majority of the game here in the second half has been played on Dempo's side. Still plenty of time for a lot of action. This edition of the Super Cup, we've seen goals come in that 80 to 90 minute mark, and that's the confirmation. Vivek is checked out. Great performance for Vivek on that right side, creating tons of chances. Vindliana coming in for him. Dempo somehow struggling to open up their attack and create an effective chance. Long ball played in by Preetham, can't find Irfan. FC Goa have already made it through to the next round, and In a few hours' time, we'll know who's making it from this group. It's definitely not Chennai or Dempo. It's going to be one of ATK, Mohan Bagan, or East Bengal. Here are the Dempo supporters giving that last push to the team. Only takes a moment of brilliance to change the outcome of this game. Long ball played forward, and Samik Mitra holds on to it. Chennaiyin FC pushing with all they've got. A nudge there as a foul is committed. Meanwhile, Daniel was shown the yellow card. Speaking of which, plenty of cards issued today by Pratik Mandal to players. Moments where they've come in the way of the integrity of the game. But here's Dempo trying to get quick with those first touch passes. Chennaiyin FC continuing to show promise, but it's not enough. I'm sure coach knows that there are a lot of areas for them to work on. Run through the left is cut short. Possession's back on with Dempo. Lost again. The substitute having a long range attempt. Goalkeeper could have become the super sub. Meanwhile, Arnold is going to be introduced into this game, and he's going to come in place for the goal scorer Shubham, who had a stellar performance, a banger of a shot to put his team up in this game, courtesy of that free kick. Composure to get that pass up front. That's the confirmation on Arnold. Coming off the bench. Few minutes of playing time for him. Can he create some magic? Make this game one game to remember for himself. Speaking of attack, it's been all Chennaiyin FC along with possession here in the second half. A handful of minutes for Chennaiyin FC to change the rationale and score a goal, especially through one of their forwards or midfielders perhaps, and not their keeper. Dempo SC looking to close out their Super Cup campaign by remaining undefeated. Pritam Kotal will press across the field from Dempo, looking to win the ball back, which they do. Arnold, the substitute, manages to keep the ball in. Played over to that far right side, but Daniel takes care of it. Glasner takes care of it. Great ball played up front. Irfan with a few more options. Gurkirat would love to receive it back, which he does. Goes for goal and takes a deflection as the ball goes out for a corner. Great move started. Apologies, it was Irfan who started that give and go, which proved to be really effective. And 4 minutes have been added on to this encounter. 4 minutes for Chennaiyin FC to take away a win and not finish at the bottom of the table, and 4 minutes for Dempo to hold on and remain unbeaten here at the Super Cup. Klasner standing there to take the corner kick. A lot of white shirts along with the entire Dempo SC side in the box. Referee just ensuring that the shoving is brought down before he blows the whistle. Klasner to take the corner for Chennaiyin FC, who are looking for their win. It's played clear once again, shot sent into the box. Dempo can't switch over to that attacking side of things. Klasner sending it inside again and almost giving Chennaiyin FC the chance to take away all 3 points. A very interesting ball. It was Irfan again, who got a piece of it, but to his bad luck, the ball did beat the keeper, but wasn't on target. And 2 minutes have almost been played of the 4 that has been added on. Is there time for that classic late football drama? It's the added time, couple more minutes. Dempo having a go. Good slide tackle to win it back. Chennaiyin FC coming in with an all-Indian squad. Were shown defeat in their first 2 games. Here they are on verge of at least taking away a point from this matchup. Dempo, on the other hand, with a campaign to not just remember, but to fuel their futuristic dreams. Daryl will now check into the game for Guam. Good performance from Guam, but an appearance for Daryl here at the Super Cup. One back by Chennai, and a free kick for them to take. Could be their last chance. Few seconds courtesy of the referee will be given. We've crossed the 4 minutes that were to be played post the 90. Plays it wide to the right. And there we go. 90 minutes here at the Bambolim. It ends all square. Dempo SC 1, Chennaiyin FC 1. It began with promise for Dempo. Shubham Rawat opening the scoring with a great goal through the free kick. But Chennaiyin FC, through their goalkeeper, hit right back just a few minutes later, and from there it was a battle of nerves, of pride, and missed chances. For Dempo, it's a result that ends their fairy tale chase. That qualification dream was a steep ask, but it fades here tonight. This result means that they do fall short of what was needed to keep the race alive. But credit where it's due. They've been disciplined, resilient, and have gone unbeaten in the group. For a team punching above their weight, that's a campaign they can be proud of. As for Chennaiyin FC, they finally break their goal drought, and that goal will give this young squad something to build on heading in to what's in store for Chennaiyin FC. So that is how it finishes at the Bambolim. Dempo won, Chennaiyin FC won, and all eyes now turn to the Kolkata Derby. The Derby at 7:30 p.m. will decide which team is going to qualify. And this being a Halloween Friday full of tricks and turns, full time here, it's Dempo 1, Chennaiyin FC 1. Do join in at 7:30 p.m. for the Kolkata Derby, which will decide whether Mohun Bagan or East Bengal will make it through from this group. You can catch that game live and exclusive on Geo Hotstar. As for this one, thank you so much for joining us live on the YouTube channel of India Football. This is your commentator Ryan James signing off. Have a nice day.